Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a very, very, very special edition of Field Talk. We are here live early this morning, and I am South Talk Soccer. That is Field Talk and
Yo.
let's just get straight into this because the Super League, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a crazy 72 hours. The Premier League, right now as we speak, is having a meeting with 14 of the clubs that are there. You can already bet who's excluded from this meeting, but let's give a rundown of what's happened in these past 72 hours. So when was this? I would say Saturday.
Yes.
You have a group of 11 elite clubs plus Tottenham Hotspur who have announced that they will separate from UEFA. They have decided that they are going to break away from whatever Champions League, whatever things they got going on, and it pissed off UEFA like no other. It was almost like they shoved the giant dildo up their ass and said, "So long, motherfuckers. We don't need you anymore." UEFA comes back hard on these cats, says, "You're not going to do this. We already agreed to a Champions League format. We're going to make money. You're going to make money." No, that's not what's going to happen. In its wake, the fans, the players, everybody except the owners has complained. Now, with all this said, let's get to our takes on this. Jay?
Okay, so first of all, as you can see, it's 7 something in the morning here on the East Coast. Sal is even more dedicated than I am. It's 4 something on his end. I'm still in my work clothes, bro. I just got in here. I took off my boots and I got right on the live because I told Sal in the chat, I was like, I'll be damned if Field Talk does not get in on this freaking nonsense. I don't even want to call it nonsense. This is just earth-shattering right now. And what I want to do, dude, is I want to come at it from both perspectives. Because when I first heard the news, I was one way, right? But then as the time has passed and I've done what a lot of people seem to refuse to do, and I actually read and did my own research, I have a different perspective. So first, let me start by saying, when I heard the news, it was unbelievable, outrage, death of the game, and it's just the greed. The hand of greed has reached all the way to the sport of soccer, and it's taken over. It's sad, bro. It's a sad day for history. It's sad for the values of that sports in general. It's sad, bro. It's sad. It's depressing. I feel for the people that have raised generations of families on those values and things of that nature. I get it. I get the outrage. I'm still pissed off about it. You know what I mean? Because it really is just a billionaire dick swinging contest, and we're just along for the ride, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's upsetting, right? It's upsetting that something that's been implemented for literally 100 years or more.
120 years, actually. So the game as we know it is 120 years old.
120 years old, and now it has been shaken up, in a way that nobody can explain. Clearly, everybody's losing their shit over this. Everyone. Anybody that's involved in the soccer world is losing their shit over this. And rightfully so. This is a huge deal. And, It's a big deal. So the outrage, understood. The values, the game was made by the poor and stolen by the rich. That is fact. That is 100% fact. And it's sad that sports in general, which is part of my next argument, sports in general has become a cash cow. And it's more about the money than it is the product. The money comes first and then everything else is after. It's a business, right? So with that being said, Sal, I have a new take now. And basically what's happening, I'm going to describe it like this. If we have any wrestling fans out here, what's happening right now is those 6 clubs, they've done something that they call in the wrestling world as turn heel. So you guys might think that Field Talk is turning heel as well, because what I'm about to say is not going to be popular. After doing research, reading in on what the league will be consisting of, Florentino Perez, Mob Boss Perez is what I'm going to call him from now on, his comments, I got to say, man, as bad as it sounds, Super League is looking like where it's at. Because all of a sudden, the hypocrisy, Sal, is unbelievable. As soon as the clubs put the clubs that make all the money, right, for that tournament in UEFA, the clubs that make all that money, as soon as they pulled out and said, you know what, fuck that reform, fuck you guys for embezzling all the money, because those clubs bring in the billions, right? And how much do you get for Champions League winning it? 130, something like that.
Something like 30% of it, 25% of the whole fucking.
Exactly. So UEFA is really just mad because they're not getting that pie no more. They want a piece of the money. Everybody's pissed about the money. Nobody's mad about the fans. Everybody thinks that this is a fan thing, and they're so happy that the legends are speaking out and this, that, and the third. All of that is bullshit. Everybody's mad because the money is moving, and everybody's moving with the money, and people are getting left behind. That's really the only issue. And nobody wants to talk about it, so maybe once everybody gets sane and accept the fact that this is going to happen, we can have civilized discussions. But as of right now, they've killed everything. Soccer is not the same no more. For some reason, people think that it's just like everybody's going to quit the league. The league doesn't exist anymore. It's really weird. Sal, I want to get your take on this, but I just want to make sure I get this out before I forget this. Troops is a big personality on Twitter, on YouTube, and for Arsenal, huge Arsenal fans. Big up Troops. I respect Troops 100%. The passion that he watches Arsenal with, I love it. If me and Troops watch the game together in a room, it will register on the Richter scale from the noise and the passion. With that being said, Troops went on a freaking rant, right? A crazy rant attacking, and I don't want to say he was attacking it, but I took offense to it. I felt attacked as an American. From the standpoint is that he said this, and everybody gave him a lot of love for this. He said that the NBA is a business, that the NFL is a business, and that football is a sport. Sorry, bro, you're wrong. Football is a business as well, and it's been a business. See, the thing about America is, bro, we've been hardened by the greed. We've been hardened by the nonsense. You people in the UK don't know about the Baltimore Colts packing up in the middle of the night and moving their entire franchise out of the city without anybody knowing. People were sick. Oakland Raiders, legendary franchise, they're dead, don't exist. They're in Las Vegas. And in America, owners, they delete teams. Delete them and move them. We've been dealing with that forever. All that grassroots stuff, all that shit, that's been gone here. We all know it's a business. Soccer is one of the biggest entities on this planet, and it's always been a business. FIFA talking that bullshit, suck my dick, FIFA. You just talking about expanding the freaking World Cup to 48 teams, UEFA reforming, all about money. Alexander, whatever his name is, he's pissed because that big pot is gone now. So don't be mad when, corruption does corruption to the corrupt. You know what I'm saying? So my bad for going on that long ass tangent, Sal, but I know I want to get your takes on it, but I just had to get all that out, and there's still so much I have to say, bro. But go ahead, take it away, brother.
Troops has a very short memory because I remember Roman Abramovich came in and bought Chelsea, and that was the death of modern football. Literally the death of modern football. The man, literally a Russian billionaire, came in and bought one of London's worst fucking clubs in Chelsea, injected shit tons of money, and all of a sudden Chelsea are relevant again. You're telling me, right, that it's not a business? It was a business at that point. Then you had the Saudis, the Arabs, whatever you want to call them, come in and inject money into Manchester City, a club whose history is shit, literally shit. No, PSG. I mean, PSG can go and fuck itself. But honestly, you bring up another point too in the NBA, and I love the Supersonics. I loved Seattle Supersonics. We're of that age where we remember the Supersonics. But what happened to the legacy of the Seattle Supersonics? They got taken to Oklahoma, and now we don't get to see Gary Payton's jersey hanging from the rafters. The gloves jersey, right? I mean, there's so many players in that club's history. What the fuck? But before I go on, right? So there's so much to pack in, and I went on Into the Net FC, which is a podcast by a good friend of ours named Alex. I played devil's advocate because at that time I kind of knew what was going on in the back of the scenes, right? Mm. None of these clubs are looking to fuck over whoever you want to say, the fans or whatever. They just want to create a new Champions League. That's all they want. They want money. UEFA doesn't understand that they created a beast. They created a beast in the Champions League. A money-sucking beast. Now that's being threatened, it's like we can't have them take it, right?
Sick. They're sick.
And I'll say this about UEFA. What about Kamara with Rangers? The man got abused. He got told shit by a player for Slavia Prague. And what'd they do? 10-match ban on the dude who said it?
10-match ban and slap on the hand. Jacob, stay tuned. We're going to get to your comments in a second. But, a little slap on the wrist.
Yeah, and when they should be doing more for that, then they should be saying, hey, you know what? These clubs, they want to come in. They want to take a lot of our money. So fuck them. Let's ban them from everything. What do we need them for? But you need them. You need them. And they're not shitting on the fans. It's not like they're going to increase our prices or anything. I mean, prices increase. That's what happens year by year. You can't keep tickets at $20 for the next 100 years. That's just going to bankroll the club. It's just insane. The fans need to go out and do more research.
I mean, like I said, I get the outrage because it's kind of like the rug got pulled from under us. But at the same time, bro, they've been hinting at the Super League for 10 years. Wenger was talking about it in 2009. You know what I'm saying? They've been hinting it. The Glazers, this ownership, the way they've moved has all hinted towards something like this. That's why Gary Neville right now coming out and he's getting all this praise for coming at the Glazers. No, fuck that, Gary. We needed you years ago. We needed you and Rio and all those legends coming out against the Glazers years ago. Now you want to come out when it's already too late, and you want to mobilize. You want fans to march. Where were you guys at when it was happening? When it really needed to be said? Gary Neville says, "Oh, I feel somewhat complicit." No, Gary, you're fully complicit. You and the legends that claim you love the club so much. Everybody that claims that the values are so rich. How did Man United get sold in the first place? Why was it sold? Was it not for money? Why was it sold? Sal, if you build something from the ground up, right, and you're like, I will never get rid of this, and somebody says, hey, Sal, I love what you've done. I know this is your life work. I'll give you $1 billion for it. Are you going to say no to $1 billion?
Hey, man, give me all the billions you want, right?
Absolutely not. Troops, like I said, nothing but respects for Troops. Big up Troops FC, Barstool, all that shit that he's doing. Why is Troops not at AFTV no more, Sal? Why does Troops live in America? I don't know, but 100% could tell me for a bigger bag. So let's not act like, even though it's the scourge of this planet, let's not act like business isn't business and this sporting shit isn't business. It's all business. And the first time I ever got my feelings hurt by somebody that wasn't in my family was somebody in the workforce that said, it isn't personal, it's just business. And I had to learn the hard way about that. And this is exactly what it is. We can complain until the roosters freaking crow or whatever that saying is. These billionaires are doing it. This Super League is done. It's happening. 23-year contract. It's happening. Now, really quick, Sal, I just want to go over some of the stuff that Florentino said.
Wait. Before we get into that, right? Everybody's praising the Bundesliga. Everybody's praising Dortmund and Bayern and RB Leipzig for saying, hey, you know what? They're sticking to their guns. You know what's stopping them? If you're not knowledgeable out there, and I'm not coming at anyone by this, right? Mm-hmm. There is a 50+1 rule in Germany. The fans have the final fucking vote.
Exactly.
If the fans did not have that fucking final vote, you would see Bayern Munich there. You would see Borussia Dortmund in there. And PSG is tied up because their ownership is buddies with UEFA.
They'll be in there soon.
Yeah, everybody, if they had the chance, they would jump on there.
They would. Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Sal. You're absolutely right. And PSG has been in bed with UEFA for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, how long has UEFA been corrupt? And now everybody wants to do all this twerking for UEFA because clubs want to get the hell out of there and do their own shit. So y'all forgot how racist and corrupt UEFA is? Did you forget Barcelona versus Arsenal? Did you forget Chelsea versus Barcelona? Did you forget the red card against Nani against Real Madrid? I'm not letting that go. I'm just saying though, man. I'm just saying though. I get the outrage. I don't want it to be lost on anyone that I don't understand why you guys are sick. But at the same time, do the research. Do what he's talking about. Look at to what Florentino Perez is talking about. That number that he made up about 16 to 24-year-olds not watching the game, that's an actual number. He didn't just make that up. That's really happening. You know what I'm saying? What they're doing is they're taking the 12 richest clubs, right? The teams that generate the most revenue, well, 11 richest clubs and then Tottenham that generate the most revenue, right? I get it. All of those teams are run by cocksucking billionaires. I understand it. I get it. Guess what? Nothing we can do about it, right? They're not the league, according to Perez, the league is not closed. Other teams will be able to qualify and play in that league. 5 teams, actually. So let's not, you know what I'm saying? Let's not. And then what is all this shit about kicking them out of the domestic leagues? For what? How is the domestic league getting hurt by this? Help me understand that. How is the domestic league getting hurt by this?
See, that's the part where the fans aren't doing the research. They're thinking the domestics are going to suffer, the lower teams aren't going to make money. No, this is just a Champions League. This is just a new version of a Champions League. People have to remember that. Before the Champions League, there was the European Cup. And who won a bunch of European Cups? Liverpool won a bunch of European Cups. That's why they carry that 7 with them on their badge, right? When they have the patches, when they have the UCL badges. So this isn't anything. Even Perez said, we're bringing all our trophies. We're bringing everything. So everything still counts. History is not erased. It's not like we're going, oh, well, we're starting over again. No,
that's what they're saying. Like
exactly. History is there. So let's go.
Hey, my boy Huss.
There we go, Huss.
Yeah, Huss. I mean, hold on, man. And it's just like, there's one more thing I want to touch on. And ain't no way Premier League will kick out the top 6, in my opinion. Exactly. That's another thing about it. Like, that's all threats. Another thing that I was reading about Perez and Jacob OC, I don't want you to think that we forgot about you. He is not in favor. Jacob's not in favor of the Super League. He is more into the, it goes against the integrity of the game. And like I said, I don't want to say that I don't understand that, Jacob, but at the same time, bro, you got to understand that it was always going to go this way. It's always about the dollar. They haven't cared about fans for decades, man. Decades in any sport. In America, you know how Troop said that all the American sports is a business? It wasn't always like that, bro. It was grassroots shit here too. But that greed and that billionaire shit, it already hardened us. We're already prepared to wake up and look and say, oh, LA team, dead. Doesn't exist anymore. So before you start coming and saying America's trying to bring their dead shit over to y'all, hey, it's not, we have to deal with it too, bro. We've been dealing with heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell y'all. If it was so important, those values and that stuff was so important, why were these clubs allowed to be sold like that? If the value was so important, if it's not a business, Sal, why were the clubs allowed to be sold?
Exactly. And I'll say this, for all of you who shit saying that MLS is a piece of shit, it's American soccer, it's Americanized. I hear the complaint for the Super League. I'm going to watch the same fucking teams play each other over and over again, and it's going to be the same teams winning the damn Super Cup. It's going to be Real Madrid, it's going to be Chelsea, it's going to be the same teams over and over and over. But the one thing I will tell you about MLS, and I have been with MLS since its early days, check the champions. You never have the same champions twice. It is the hardest league to repeat in. And if you repeat, great. But you don't repeat. We have disparity. We have something that y'all want, but somehow you don't want it that way.
Right. I mean, it's true, man. And it just could go either way. And like we mentioned that earlier, Huss, I'm glad that you said that. They've been talking about this for years. Wenger mentioned it in 2009. He said this is where the game was going. He almost freaking guaranteed it. Oh, Wenger doesn't know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, bro, to be pretty blunt, I can't fucking wait for Super League, bro. What? A chance to play Real Madrid in a final all the time? You know what I'm saying? To play these clubs in a final, to get these games that we always want all the time, they didn't. I get it. People are mad about not being able to qualify. They should earn it. I get it, bro. I get it. But if you do the research on the stuff that he's talking about, because everybody just wants to look at Perez's interview and be like, oh, he's just a mob boss. He's a fucking mob boss, right? Don't get me wrong. He's a mob boss. But if you just take a second, Gen Z and whatever you guys are doing out there and read, you'll see that a lot of the shit that he's talking about is very true. Oh, yeah, let's see here.
There'll be a draft system in the Super League, like the college game. Ooh.
Now that Huss is something I hope, as far as the fundamentals and stuff, I don't want them to change that, bro. Like a draft, like that type of shit doesn't make sense to me. Like I hate watching the MLS draft. It's just such a weird thing. So I hope they don't try to implement too much American, you know what I'm saying? Americanize like the draft and different things like that. I don't want them to change the rules and shit. I heard Perez talking about potentially shortening games for people to watch. No, I don't think that. I think what he thinks about the cash cows playing each other week in and a week out basis, I think that definitely is going to be appealing. Everybody's talking shit. Like, look, this guy right here, fuck the Super League. I feel you, bro, but you're gonna be tuned in. You're gonna watch the Super League. So let's not act like you're not gonna be tuned in.
And I don't want to come off as being like the one that's all for it. That just because I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm shitting on history of my club. No, I've never shat on the history of my club. I've been with Arsenal since 1999, loyal to that club, and no matter how shitty they've been, I get my club's history. I fucking come on this show all the time, and I repeat. We are invincibles, damn it. We fucking are the only invincible squad in the whole Premier League now. Get the fuck out of my face. But what I love about this is the fact that each of these clubs are going to get 3.5 billion euro. If you want to put it into perspective, that's $4.2 billion American. Go look at the Milan clubs. The fucking Milan clubs are suffering. They have been suffering ever since UEFA put a ban on them. And why? Just because they wanted to go out and buy fucking players? I don't see why they should be banned. If a top club wants to go out and spend 300 million on Erling Haaland, let them fucking spend $300 million on fucking Erling Haaland. I don't give a fuck. If he turns out to be a bust at the club, then whose fault was that? It was that damn club who bought him. That's all I say.
Man, and then the thing is now is... Hold on 1 second. The thing is now, right, is like, what's going to happen in this meeting? Like, because I know that all of Everton's come out and said something crazy. And then, yo, my dog, Huss, my dog is like freaking trying to ruin the whole show, bro. I had to try to handle him. That was what was happening right there. Sorry about that. But yeah, so what's going to happen with this meeting? Perez has already assured that nobody can get their league, can get out of the league. World Cup's going to happen. European tournament's going to happen. The law protects them. So, I mean, it's already – the billionaires wouldn't have made this move had they not had assurances by the law. So, all I know is that it's going to happen, right? The only question is, when is it going to happen? When and why? And when and where and who's gonna stop? So, anyways, yeah, freaking dog is not rocking with the morning show. So, anyway, though,
you know, this isn't gonna happen this year, and I'll guarantee you it won't happen this year. If the Champions League is ruined because of this and they want to kick them out, then so be it. UEFA can give the spots to whatever teams are afterwards, right? But if the leagues decide we're gonna remove the placement that's there already, that's just a bunch of bullshit. Because I don't see anyone fucking anything up for the league at this point. Just, if they want to go with the Champions League for the Premier League that has West Ham, Villa, who am I missing? Leicester. God, whoever the fuck else is on the list, right? If you want to go with that, you want to go with Sevilla, you want to go with Getafe, you want to go with Roma, Atalanta. If you want to go with that, that's fine. But PSG or Bayern are going to win it that year coming up. So, hey, you don't like it, but the guys with the money are winning it always. So, fuck it. And Huss, you make a point. I mean, in 10 years from now, if this goes through, everybody's going to be like, it was the best idea because of the influx of money. And not only that, I think it's the zone for Europe is willing to pay $3.5 million for just 2 years of this exclusivity.
Right.
That's a shit ton of money.
It's unbelievable money, man. Unbelievable money. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like when the teams, those teams broke off from the Premiership. I mean, broke off of the English. I mean, what was it? What was the English? What was the Premier League called before the Premier League? What was it? It was just the English. It was
the first. It was the English,
just
the first division. The first division, yeah, the first division before.
Right, and they broke off and created a Premiership. I'm sure there was outrage then.
And, you know, Liverpool fans are protesting, but it was Liverpool that pushed for the Premier League. It was them that got the ball rolling. History has a very, very short span, and the fans just think it's going to be dreadful for them, but we don't know what's going to happen. Do your research, people. And I mean, you know, XGLE, 20 teams in that trash. Absolutely nothing can happen is bullshit.
Well, I'm saying though, but why can't anything happen, bro? Why are you so? Because I want to hear other people's real opinions on this. What is it about this that you're so opposed to? Because domestically, nothing changes, right? You just those teams are just not going to Champions League no more. They rather have their own Champions League where the big clubs play each other, little clubs get their chance to play in it. Now imagine that, West Ham winning the Super League. How much bragging rights, how much money that they will have. I get it, but I want to know what's people's main EXGLE, bro. Tell me, what is your main issue with it? One biggest issue. What is it? I need to know. Because Huss, this is exactly how I feel, Huss. Exactly how I feel.
Man, I just really want this generation of people that, you know, I don't know why you don't read. It's just, and it's not even about reading between the lines. It's about looking at what's happening. And I was watching Argentine TV, which I have fucking a whole Spanish cable fucking package, but people in the Argentine are like, we love this Super League idea. We want to see the big clubs play against each other. We don't want to see the little guys play against the big guys. No, that shit's boring for us. We want this shit. We want this. Let's go. Does Real Madrid accept?
Except the fact that their president is the president of the whole league. That's another thing, bro. That's another thing. Troops and everybody else coming out of America trying to say America's damning the game when Florentino Perez, Spaniard, European, is the freaking, he oversees all of it. That means that all the Americans that you're pissed off at, bro, are answering to that guy. So what do you have to say about that? I don't hear anything. Yes, he is. Perez is one of the smartest businessmen in the sport, bro. And he's turning that negative debt that Real Madrid has right now and all these other clubs has, he's turning it into a profit. He's flipping it, and he's doing what businessmen do. The sooner that everybody realizes that all sports is a business and the values that you guys are holding on to have long been dead, everybody will be able to move on and transition smoothly. I understand that, bro. I don't want to sound like I'm going against tradition and values, bro, but it's been gone. It's been trending this way.
Oh man, football is fucking being cricket. I mean, we don't watch cricket, so we don't know, but fuck, man. I mean, there we go. Huss with the facts. Tottenham are $800 million in debt. $800 million in debt. This 3.2 that they're getting, this helps them out. It pulls them out of the rut. It says to them, we built a great stadium, but do we get to host Champions League matches here? What's going to happen if we end up in 5th? Are they going to come out for Europa? What happens if we end up in 6th or 7th? This huge new White Hart Lane is just going to be there empty. I don't want to see that. I want to see that fucking stadium filled. Everton, with all their bullshit they're talking right now and that statement they released, y'all are getting a brand new stadium. A brand new fucking stadium.
How much
don't y'all... That's going to be around the fucking millions, man. That's going to be on the hundreds of millions. Those motherfuckers would love to be in that fucking Super League. To say, hey, we're going to get bankrolled by the Super League. We can pay off this stadium and then some? Don't you think Ancelotti would love to have some of those millions and be like, yo, I can go and buy players I want and have my squad. Let's do this. Think, people, think.
Be legend, don't give up. Cancel that virus league. Listen, Renegade Raider, my man, dog. It's a done deal. It's 23 contract. That shit's binding. Perez already said ain't nobody leaving that. Us. Honestly, bro, some of the Americans that I know, bro, they're talking about some bring on the Super League, bro. We're corrupt over here, apparently. I mean, when you think about it, bro, it's really interesting. I mean, like, how many years? When was the last time freaking Manchester United played Real Madrid in a meaningful European match? I guess there was the Super Cup before that, but then it was the red card. I mean, you want to see these teams clash more often. I guess it's cliche to say you want to see little teams have a chance and all that shit, which they still will have a chance. You know what I'm saying? They can still get into the Super League. I think I mean, I get it. Like I said, I understand it, but we're going to have to move on because it's going to happen. These billionaires are not fucking around.
Yeah, I mean, Renegade, you want to cancel this league, but it's not really a league. It's not a league. I mean, the fixtures are still going to play on the weekends. Everybody's still going to play in their leagues. This is just a brand new Champions League. And honestly, these teams, and as much as I make fun of Tony Kroos on the show, right, the man had a point when he said, we play too much. We are tired as players. UEFA wants to go and add 100 more games to the Champions League just because they want 36 more teams, get rid of the group stages, and put everybody in a table and say, hey, look, we're going to play a table for points. No. These players don't want to do that shit. They don't want to go out there and be dead by Sunday. It's like, dang, people, UEFA's trying to shove a dildo up these teams' asses. These teams are saying, look, we're not going to play each other all the time. We're going to have 20 matches. 20 fucking matches throughout the calendar year. So we're not going to see each other every now and then it's 20 clubs. What's the likelihood that these clubs get matched up in the same year for like 2-3 years in a row? Probably not likely. We'll probably see it every so often, but not every year.
I mean, it's rough, man. And I feel like people are gonna be clashing, bro. We're gonna clash with people a lot over this because, you know, some people see it for what it is, some people don't see it for what it is, and some people refuse to see it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you weren't under the impression or didn't have the impression that the game was headed towards something like this, then you weren't involved. You weren't paying attention. You know, people were talking about this a long time ago. I remember them mentioning the league being serious about 3 years ago, something that was about to happen. So just to recap really quick, because we're going to wind it down, at least for me, Perez assured us that the domestic leagues will not be able to kick any of the teams out. FIFA won't be able to ban anybody from playing in the World Cup. Champions League, UCL will not be able to kick out any of the teams. They are protected by the law. So anybody that thought that these teams were going to be kicked out or whatever, that's not going to happen. They will be competing. Yes, I mean, Renegade, I agree with you. That guy fucking sucks, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just be like, because these big 6 teams or these 12 teams want to pull out and start twerking for Alexander Seferin. He's the fucking biggest crook out here. So when a crook gets crooked, you know, it's like, what do you do?
Look, everybody who wants FIFA to step in, you have to remember that FIFA is a business. They're always going to be a business. And if this Super League brings in more money for FIFA's not going to be like, we're going to kick these guys out. They're going to say to UEFA, hey, we accept them. They're going to go on. You don't like it? Too bad. You can still hold your Champions League if you want. But we're going to recognize these guys. And if other teams want to play in their league, well, too bad. We're going to recognize them. Money talks. It's always going to talk. The values have died. They died the second Chelsea got bought. And then every club started getting into debt. They needed that debt paid off. What'd they do? Americans came in, Arabs came in, Russians, Malaysians, everybody came in except for the English. And the only English billionaire who wanted to buy a club was not allowed to buy a club. And what was that? Newcastle, right? Right? So the only person that could have been of English descent was not. Y'all have to remember, Southampton got sold to some Chinese billionaire by its owners because they were in fucking debt. All of these clubs are in fucking debt. But this just adds money to their pockets that they can say, look, we're not going to rot. And this whole year, this whole pandemic, just put everything in light. These clubs are not safe.
Nope, and I think the pandemic expedited this European League, and I think that the owners, they've all saw that honestly they don't need fans physically there to make a killing. They've been able to figure out how they're going to manipulate this TV money. They're trying to negotiate with these streaming networks. I saw Disney Plus, maybe Facebook Live. I mean, these billionaires. I'm gonna tell you one thing, bro. They have sat there and they've planned this to the T. They knew of the outrage was gonna happen, but they knew this: the money is going to be there. You guarantee me $3.4 billion to show up somewhere, Sal? Guess what? I'm gonna fucking be there. And unfortunately, for me, I wish we could stay another hour. But like I said, bro, I've been working 12 hours. I just got home. I just didn't want Field Talk to be behind on this shit. So, Sal, you're welcome to stick with the people for a little bit longer. But me, I got to shower. I got to eat. I got to get to bed. I got to go right back to work.
So I'm gonna let everyone know that we are going to sign off. But we do have lots of friends in the American podcast soccer world, and we are going to try to actually bring them on and have a discussion because their clubs are all over the place. I mean, we have Young Leg, who's a Real Madrid supporter who has shown his support for this. I mean, we have Tommy C from More Than a Game podcast down in Australia,
Tommy.
West Ham supporter. Shout out, Tommy. Love you, man. And we're going to try to have you on, get your view, since you're a West Ham guy. I mean, you're looking in from the outside, so I want to know your viewpoint. Alex, who I was on his podcast recently, get him on now that more information's out there, but he's all for this, so let's go. And Huss?
Huss, bro. You know the vibes, Huss. You know the vibes. Attack on Titan is go. I'm so pissed we gotta wait until next Christmas or something like that. I don't know. But I want to bring this comment up one more time. This is exactly how I feel, Huss. I think as time goes by and more information comes out, I think people will pump the brakes. But right now, this is going to be up in arms, bro. Up in arms. And we're going to try to be here for all of it.
And with that, I mean, Jay, your moment, take it away.
Listen, guys, this is an emergency show. I want to thank Sal for fucking staying up till 4 in the damn morning to do this shit. I want to thank you guys for being in the comments. Huss, as always, man, one of my favorite people out here in the YouTube world. Renegade Raider, we see you for coming in. There was another cat in here. I can't see his name right now. Thank you so much for all y'all support. Field Talk content 2021. It's a super league, guys. It's a new era of soccer, and we're here for it. Follow the kid at Field Talk _. Follow my boy at South Talk Soccer. Follow at what is it? FT_Benzi. Dude, I'm sorry.
No, Benzi Visuals. Benzi Visuals.
Benzi_ Visual. Dude changes his name more than he changes his draws. Follow us on Twitter at Field Talk Pod. Follow us on Instagram at Field Talk _. We are on all the streaming podcast streaming platforms, Apple, all that good shit. Stick with us. We're gonna have more input on this, some guests. I'll try to be back in some capacity. Maybe Benzi. I don't even know if that guy exists anymore. But anyway, it's early morning. Thank you guys again for being here. Peace.
Ciao, people.